Our next guest, an international movie star. He sells out arenas. He's made thousands of babies with his music. Grown and sexy and furious, my man Tyrese. Great to have you on the show, my man.
Oh, man, my pleasure, bro. Thank you for having me.
I know you're a Capricorn, so you've been plotting, you've been planning, you've been calculating, and it looks like your plan is working, Tyrese. Big album, big movie. Shout out to you, bro. Nice work.
God is the greatest. Sometimes the stars align, We are, I think we should all wake up every single day trying to figure out a way to put 2 and 3 and 4 together, seize every moment we can, take advantage of our America. We're very lucky.
I know getting this movie in the theater was not easy. It's not an easy task these days, but this particular movie hitting close to home, it's called 1992. It stars yourself, also Ray Liotta, and a bunch of other big stars in it.
Rest in peace to Ray Liotta, by the way. This is his last film, so it's one of those things we're just kind of going above and beyond to make sure that everybody knows this is coming, because this is the last piece of art that this legend left us with.
Yeah, I never knew the guy. What kind of guy was he when you got a chance to work with him?
I guess this is nothing personal when you're working with people on the movie set, but my son in the movie, he never talked to him for 2 weeks straight. He was very, very intense, very intentional about who and what he did. And, I just found myself studying him, studying his movement, studying his intensity, studying the look in his eyes, study his body language. I was in class, man, on set, all while doing my job. So, you were about to give the fans a rundown of what this movie was about, and I interrupt you. I apologize.
Oh, no, it's all good. You were in Watts, so I know this hits close to home. Also, Snoop getting some credits on this movie. He was in Watts in 1992. Back in that time, you were 13 years old. What kind of energy and what kind of feelings were you having at that moment?
Well, let me make sure I clear the air here and say to everybody listening, first of all, thank you for letting me come on your platform. I'm grateful. I also want to say that this movie is not about rioting and looting.
It's a heist, right?
Yeah, it's a heist movie. It's a crime thriller. Wow, this is what's crazy. Ray Liotta and his crew, Scott Eastwood is his son, is another guy that played by a gentleman named Dylan, who was just in the Oppenheimer movie. It's about 7 of them. And that's Ray Liotta's crew. And all they do is rob banks, and they do heists, big money heists. So while the world was mad and dealing with the racial tension and racial divide of the Rodney King verdict, where all the white police officers got off with a not guilty verdict, instead of looting and rioting, Ray Liotta and his crew decided to go break into a damn warehouse and go steal $50 million in platinum bars out of a safe. So that's what the movie is about. And so there's a little confusion from the trailer. If you look at the 1992 trailer, it'd be like, oh, this is another movie about police brutality and rioting and looting. And so I've kind of been enjoying, like, oh, my God, it's so much more movie than the rioting and looting. So I just wanted to make sure I cleared the air on that. And I didn't do no spoilers. There's so much in this movie that I did not give away. I just wanted to make sure y'all know that I am not inviting y'all to Labor Day weekend to watch a film about rioting and looting and police brutality.
It looks like an intense film if you check out the trailer. It's coming out Labor Day weekend, 1992. I've heard you call it South Central's Fast and Furious. A lot of action in this film, right?
Yes, sir. It's very, very real. A lot of action, and it's going to have you on the edge of your seat. You know what I mean? It's one of them real movies that it just sucks you right in, like from the opening scene. So I can't give it away, but it's a real situation, and I hope that I can contribute to the magic of your Labor Day weekend. You will not be disappointed.
Shout out to Lionsgate for getting this and helping it get into theaters, and then also shout out to Snoop and his Death Row Pictures. How often did you see Snoop on the set, and what kind of energy did he bring to this film? What did he do as an executive producer?
So Snoop and Dre released the first Chronic album in 92, right? So automatically, when you start talking to Snoop about 92, he's in. But he's my brother. I reached out to him and I said, bro, listen, I do not want this movie to see the light of day without you stamping it, coming on board to be a part of it, and helping us to move the needle. And he understood that. He came on board, and yeah, it's been great, man. Because the other thing that everybody's excited about, like, you haven't seen me and Snoop do anything together since Baby Boy, you know. So it's like Rodney and Jody linking back up, you know what I mean? So people are really enjoying that.
Another person you linked up with on your album that I'm interested to find out, Lenny Kravitz. I know you have a record on the new album, Beautiful Pain, double vinyl, by the way. Go pick it up at Tyrese.tv. But I'm curious, is this the song, is this the album that gets Lenny back to being a bedroom bully finally?
Yes.
You think this is the album that gets him back to bumping and grinding? Please tell me that that's the case, Tyrese.
Well, you know, it's not okay to compare legends, but everybody that has heard our song says that this feels like Lenny Kravitz's first Purple Rain with the way he played the guitar on this song. You guys could actually listen to it now. It's called I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me, Loved. Tyrese, I Don't Think You Ever Loved Me. That's Lenny Kravitz playing on the guitar. And we got Kenny G on the album. David Foster executive produced the overall album. Brandon Bam Hodge is the producer of the album. And it's a double album. 20 songs is live, and it's actually dropping on the same day as 1992. And we got the number one song right now dedicated to my mother called Wildflower, also produced by David Foster. So.
And what a beautiful album cover, by the way. Your mother was beautiful. God rest her soul. And also shout out to Tyrese on this album. Real instrumentation on the record. I play guitar and drums myself. And a lot of these kids don't want to put in their 10,000 hours these days. They just want to push buttons on a machine. Real instrumentation. So shout out to you on that as well.
Yeah, 20 songs total, all live. And literally Wildflower that you can listen to now. It just launched. It's on all the streaming platforms. Type in Tyrese Wildflower, and you'll hear real horns, real live, real instrumentation. It's dedicated to my mother, rest in peace, who passed 2 years ago. So, yeah, man. You know, the thing is, the game stays the same until you change it. So it's just one of those situations, man, where I didn't know I was going to go through a divorce. I didn't know I was going to fall in love again with my new lady I've been with for 4 years. I didn't know my mom was going to pass. So it's just a cocktail of real vulnerabilities and emotions. And, you know, the crazy thing is I don't want anybody to think they're going to listen to anything sad. It's going to just take you to a place. And because of my love for God and the Lord, the last thing I wanted to do was release an album to contribute to the divorce rate. So I'm excited. Go to Tyrese.tv. If you order the limited edition version of the album, I'm actually signing. I'm putting my signature on each individual order. And, yeah, man, it's all exciting. It feels like a Tyrese takeover for Labor Day weekend.
It's fantastic, man. I know you calculated this stuff, and it's definitely working. I want to get your opinion before I let you go. We're both around the same age, and we're talking about R&B music and like around the time of 1992, but all I can think of is R. Kelly, the R&B king when I was in high school. As a DJ, you know, do we still need to be dropping those R. Kelly records in the clubs and stuff like that? I mean, how has this damaged his character, and how does his legacy live on in the R&B world? Because he was at the top of the game.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of people, including myself, that would have the opinion that he's still the king of R&B, and what he did or accused of doing or what he is in jail for doing is them dealing with the repercussions of action. But I think, you know, these days, you know, and I'm not calling him a monster, but because I do know him and I love him, and I had a real great relationship with him over the years. So I'm not one of those people that beat you down while you're already down. But I think these days, when you look at actors, you look at producers, directors, you look at real estate guys, Wall Street guys, when you were like, oh my God, they did what, or they're accused of doing what, you know, we gotta somehow figure out a way to separate the monster from the music. You know, we gotta just allow ourselves to say, I didn't fall in love with you as a talent based on what you do in your personal life. You know, it's just it's the music. It's the music. I love the music of all of the artists and all of the creators. I don't know if they're using cocaine while they're making music. And if I ever found out, I'd be disappointed. But it's like, I'm making this music. These are my gifts and these are my talents. And some people are not able to separate the two. But at the end of the day, I don't think his status as the king of R&B changes because of ultimately what he's dealing with. So, and that's my opinion. I don't think everybody is going to arrive at that same opinion. But I just, I know a lot of people in the business, billionaires, millionaires, people in real estate, people in the tech space. And, it's like the more powerful you get, the more weird people get. So it's just kind of is what it is.
Well, fuck the tissue, man. Go to Tyrese.tv and get the new album. Shout out to Lionsgate, Death Row Pictures. Get your popcorn ready to see the movie 1992 starring our guest Tyrese Gibson. And keep taking advantage of every 24 you get, my man. Thanks for the gifts you've been giving us here lately.
Oh, God bless you, brother. I appreciate you, man. I know what interview you just watched.
Shout out.